Well, it's that time of year. We got to get the snowblower ready for the 3-point hitch on the tractor. What we're going to do is we're going to grease the block bearings, which are on either end. We're going to grease the chain. And then I might take my cutting torch and fix these ends. The ends have, every year they kind of get bent over a little bit. So I might take the cutting torch, heat these up, bend them back over. And then the other thing that I might do, well, I'm going to do, is down inside, they don't have shear pins, they have shear pins, or shear bolts, I'm sorry. So this is a 1/4 bolt, grade 8 right there. And that breaks, let me see if I can get it to focus. That breaks for your chain, or there you go. See the 2 plates? So that's how it protects the drive system if the main auger gets jammed. So if the main auger gets jammed, that breaks because that's on the chain drive. And then if your impeller, which spins a lot faster, if your impeller, which throws it, gets jammed, what breaks is the one over here on the drive shaft. It's right here. It's another 1/4 inch, 1/20 bolt right there. And so what I do is I keep a bunch of them on hand with lock-in nuts, the nylon lock-in nuts, because they're disposable. But if this one breaks, your whole unit stops. If the inside one breaks, this will keep spinning and chucking your snow, but the auger grabbing the snow and pulling it into the machine will stop. So it's the same concept as on a walk-behind snowblower, except on a larger scale, basically. And instead of having shear pins going through the auger, it has a shear bolt at that end for the whole auger, and then it has a shear bolt here for the drive shaft. So 2 fail-safes. This is a hydraulic motor, or a hydraulic, it's a hydraulic motor that spins this screw, which turns the chute. And that came off of a Kubota tractor snowblower that I modified onto this. This is an old Blizzard that I've had for a bunch of years. So it's in pretty good condition, as long as you keep up on it. So we're gonna grease all the grease fittings, and we are going to clean up this drive shaft, and then we will mount it up onto the tractor. I got two of them done. You can see the difference. How this one's bent backwards from hitting rocks and debris and stuff like that. And that one's bent forward across the whole way. That one's bent forward across the whole way. So I gotta do this one, bend this way. This should be way over here. And then this one. So let's do this one next. Just gotta remember they're hot. Don't wanna touch them. I got all four impeller blades bent back. Gonna let that cool. That one could have gone a little bit more, but that's all right. That's done. And now I got the pillow blocks on either end that need to get some fresh grease on them. Right there and right there. And then I gotta lube the chain, and I gotta clean the drive shaft and get that greased up. So let's load up a grease tube in a grease gun. That block bearing is greased. That block bearing is greased. The impellers all fixed with the torch. Now we're gonna go on the backside and I'm going to clean the drive shaft. Gotta make sure that spins freely and all the dirt is taken out of it. So here you could see, so that bolt will break, and then that will keep the tractor spinning, and it won't break it. It's supposed to not break any of your U-joints. So I try to replace them at the beginning of every year because they do take a beating over the season. I normally break 2 a year, depending on what logs, branches fall in the snow. So it's just 2 7/16 wrenches is all you need. And it's not that hard doing it on the machine either. All right, that's one. Now we got to go up front and get the other one. So that's the one on the drive shaft, the shear bolt. The next one is behind this corner. This one's a little bit harder to get to, but you can see it right there. So let's replace that one. That bolt is obviously too long. I'm gonna see if I have a shorter one. I am all out of the shorter grade A bolts. I have the non-grade A bolts, but in the past those break way too often. So you can see this one here also has a slip plate right there. Let me see if I can get it to spin. There's 2 pieces of metal right there. If you watch right there. So if you hit something, there you go. Now you can see it. That's how it breaks. See? So I'm gonna put some grease on that grease fitting while I have it apart so I can spin it around. So this is connected to the drive shaft on the tractor. This piece here is connected to the auger. So there's a hole, we're gonna put that right there. Like I said, this one's a little bit more difficult to get to. Line them up. And because I have a long bolt, I gotta have some washers on there. Ugh. Yeah, put the washers on the outside. I gotta pick up more bolts. See if I can get it in that way, but it hits the gear. There we go. So now I gotta take up all that space right there. That shoulder is too long on the bolt. So take a bunch of washers, stick them on there, take a nylon lock-in nut, stick it on there. I'll pick up some when I go to Tractor Supply. I got up my bins are running low, so. we go. So now it spins as one whole unit. So the last thing we got to do is grease this chain. None of the other sprockets for the gears are greasable from what I can tell. So you got all this gear here. This is actually your adjusting gear. That slides up and down. There's a track back here. See it right there? This is how you adjust your chain. So let's grease the chain up. Well, we got the John Deere ready for winter. Got the snowblower all set, good to go. And this is actually the first year that I have a canopy on it at this house, so I'm not gonna be able to fit it in my garage. Oh, we just missed the sunset. So we're not gonna be able to fit it in the garage this year, so I also have to figure out something for that to keep the snow off of it. So I'll probably just throw a tarp over the top of it when it snows and then pull it off when we go to use it. So the John Deere snowblower is all set, and that is another job done. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have any comments, feel free to leave them. Actually helps with the algorithm. And positive comments are appreciated. Negative comments, well, we can get those anywhere. So anyways, I'll see you on the next video, I hope, and hope some of this stuff helps you.